What's going on? I see you asked if I'm shoveling snow. No, I'm in Georgia, so we didn't get snow, but yeah, running a little bit late, but same old stuff here. Same old stuff. Tyrod just took that deep shot to Jalen Hyatt. Hyatt definitely had a step, but you know, it is what it is. Wasn't a horrible throw, but Jalen Hurts coming out. Today's rooting guide, as I actually have today, I have the Chargers game on. I have the Giants game on. I have the Cardinals game on as James Conner picks up a first down. I have a couple of games on, and I forgot what needs to happen, but essentially, a couple of these teams need to win in order for the Giants to, if they did squeak out a win today, they wouldn't fall down as far as draft position goes. Cardinals, of course, we want to supplant the Cardinals. We want to get a higher pick than the Cardinals. But the Chargers is more about tiebreakers. And it looks like the Cardinals are about a half yard short here on third down. But I say that to say that I'll be monitoring a ton of these games to see what our draft status is looking like. Because, listen, we're in the final stretch, final game for Sterling Shepard as a Giant, at least. He may retire and join the coaching staff. This is also the final game, maybe, for Saquon Barkley as a Giant. Could be the last game of Tyrod Taylor as a Giant. Could be the last game that Mike Kafka and Wink Martindale are the coordinators. I don't think that Brian Dable will be gone. But, yeah, New England definitely let us all down. They let us all down big time because if they had just been able to squeak out that win, against the Patriots, against the Jets. Yeah, but if they've been able to squeak out that win, we could be looking at possibly having a pick as high as 2. Now that probably isn't going to happen because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we just already have more wins than them, so it's impossible for them to have a higher spot than us. So at that point, the Patriots are guaranteed to be under us. So the highest possible place we can pick now, I think, is 3. Washington has to win. The Cardinals have to win. And then we have to get some help as far as tiebreakers, as you got Eden Stick throwing a rocket like 60 yards to Trey Palmer. You say you think at best we see 4. I think that's the most realistic. If the Cardinals can get a win here today, I think that makes things a lot easier for us. And you got Jalen Hurts setting up shop here in the shotgun. He's got decent protection. He's got, who's that? Watkins. It's not Sammy Watkins. Quez Watkins. He's got Quez Watkins for about 8 yards there on first down for the Eagles. All right. Here on second down, 2nd and 2, I'm expecting the Eagles to really just put a tail whooping on the Giants today because they need this game. They're at 11-5. The Cowboys are at 11-5. I think the Lions won today. So yeah, they're at 12-5 now. And the 49ers are at 12-4. So they're hoping for the Niners to lose and them to win, and then them have a shot at getting that number 1 overall spot as far as top dog in the NFC. And then also they're going for top dog in the NFC East. So they got a lot to play for today. The Giants players, of course, there's a ton of them who have a lot to play for. But for the most part, it's for the most part, the Eagles are just a better team who are motivated by a playoff spot. So I think that they're going to bring their A game today. Yeah, Justin Fields is going to be their quarterback. I'm very sure. that he's going to be their quarterback, which is interesting because, you can still argue that. I mean, just think about it. Like, you're saying Justin Fields is finally showing some signs of, like, being that guy. And I think he can be a guy. And I would be open to trading for Fields. But it's kind of like, maybe you just take Caleb Williams and just say, like, Caleb Williams is going to be our guy for the next 4 years on a rookie deal, and he might be the same guy as Justin Fields. Even if you think Justin Fields can be that top level quarterback, you can think the same thing about Caleb Williams, and you get him for cheaper. You don't have to pay him in a year and a half, 2 years. Jalen Hurts is under pressure. He escapes the pressure, and he's just going to throw this away. I thought he was going to throw it away, but he didn't. Watching this stuff on this split screen is really kind of difficult to do. Much more difficult than I thought, because you kind of get lost in these other games too. But again, I mean, I think I might just go to just switching it to where I have the Cardinals up, the Chargers game, and the Giants game on. Because I think those are the top games. And then on top of that, the Washington and Dallas game, I just can't get. I mean, that's on regular TV, so I can't throw that on this screen with Sunday Ticket. So I think I'll try to revisit this once we go to commercial. And it looks like we're going to commercial now. Okay. So let's see if I can find me. They're not showing the three. That is interesting. Okay. Let's see if I can find it through here. Sunday Ticket. Excuse my remote making all these clicking sounds. Sunday Ticket. Because they used to have like 3-part multi-views. And it's like I can't go to their actual channel. Okay, let's throw this up here. See if I can get to their channel. Okay. 4 games at once, 3 games at once. Okay, so Giants, Chargers game, and let me get the Cardinals game. Giants, Chargers, Cardinals. Perfect. All right, now I got the 3 games we care about. The 49ers game was kind of distracting me. Yeah, Caleb isn't a sure thing. Fields also isn't a sure thing, though. But if I'm the Bears, I would take Caleb Williams, even though Justin Fields is starting to really come into his own. And maybe you say, like, he's got the team on his back, they believe in him now, just go with him. But that all being said, I don't think that the Bears will take Caleb Williams. I'm pretty sure that's going to go to the highest bidder. I do not want any parts of doing anything but taking a quarterback. I just don't want any parts of doing anything but taking a quarterback. I think I really feel like you trade up to get a quarterback. If you don't have that top 3 pick, you trade up to get one of those top 3 guys. Even if you can't trade up to get one of those top 3 guys and you're picking at 4, you take Penix, or you take there are way too many good quarterbacks in this class that you can justify taking top 10. I know Penix has the injury issues, but there's Penix, you could take Bo Nix, you could take JJ McCarthy, and while I'll say they're not necessarily the best, as Wando Robinson is mixing guys up in the open field, they're not necessarily the best prospects as far as, like, they're not on the same level as those top 2 or 3 guys. But at the same time, you can justify taking them in round 1. Like, you can justify taking any one of those guys in round 1. And if you can do that, then you can justify taking them in the top 10. Like, you're not going to play those kind of games. Like, I like this quarterback, but I think he's a 17th overall pick, instead of the 6th overall pick. So I'm going to trade back to 12 to hopefully get him there, which doesn't make sense. No one is going to do that. So I would take any one of those guys. If I was going to trade back to try to get more value, then I would trade back to something like 8 or 9. But again, what would I be trading back for? If I'm trading back, that probably means somebody wants to move up to get a quarterback. So you take that pick. I mean, at 4 or at 5, I would be fine with Penix. I think he can be just as good as those top guys. It's just about the health and the age. And I mean, Tyrod Taylor is just dotting up the Eagles right now. I can just already see what kind of party this is going to be. But like I said, they're showing the Bears and Packers. Yeah, we also need Justin Fields to look really good today. And the Cowboys and Commanders are at 0-0, so that looks good for us too. But pretty much what I'm saying is, like, we need a quarterback round 1. Like, there are too many good quarterback prospects for us to just have a pick in the top 5 or even in the top 8 and not get a quarterback. It just doesn't make sense. Because what's your argument? Like, let's take Joe Flacco, or let's take any one of these guys and plug him in for a year, or Daniel Jones in for a year if he can come back from the injury, and let's try to get a guy next year. So what if Daniel Jones plays a little better than he did before? What if he throws for 20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and Saquon Barkley's dicing through this defense? Looks like the Giants are going to get on the board for first. They, like, in the years that we were playing well for the most part last year, this Eagles team blew us off the field. And in this lost season, we're going wire to wire. We're playing well against this Eagles team. It makes no sense. And Eaton Stick just threw a pick 6 on the Chargers. And that's not good for us. I think we need a Chargers win. But I forgot where I was going. But I think I pretty much was just saying there are a lot of good quarterback prospects, and I'll be happy with pretty much any one of them. Not really a fan of Bo Nix, but I mean, I could that could be a pick that I could warm up to. It wouldn't be my first option, but I could probably warm up to that pick. Tyrod in the red zone. He's got time. He's taking off. He's trying to move around, and he's going to get sacked. So the Eagles' defense is kind of bowing up now. So we're in the red zone inside the 15-yard line after you had Wan'Dale Robinson have a really nice catch and run on a well-placed throw by Tyrod Taylor across the middle, and then Saquon Barkley have a nice run. So we're at the 13.5-yard line. Tyrod's empty. You got 5 wide. Eagles are sending 5 or 6. Tyrod's taking off, and he's just going to run out of bounds. So the Giants are probably going to kick this field goal at about 4 yards away from the end zone on 4th down. Let's see. Dak Prescott in the red zone is, oh my gosh. That should have been intercepted, but the guy just couldn't locate the ball. Shout out to Joe Smo84 for the $4.99. He said, Giants not getting the memo. Eagles going half throttle. We're going to win. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, the Eagles this should not be a game where, like, the motivation isn't there, because, again, the Eagles are 11-5. The Lions just won today. The 49ers are in a game today. And the Eagles have a shot at getting the number 1 seed, and they also have a shot at winning the NFC East. So they should theoretically be trying to play to win today, but we'll see. We'll see, because, I mean, the Giants always just show up. Oh, my gosh. Geno Smith off his back foot just threw a nice throw. Back shoulder throw to Will Dissly. But this Eagles team should not be – they just shouldn't be in position to lose this game. Now, I did hear a report that said there's an NFC East huge coaching move that is very unexpected. And everybody is thinking that that's going to be Nick Sirianni, that he's going to be getting fired or he's like stepping down. I just couldn't see it being Brian Dable. Ron Rivera is gone either way, so no one would be surprised by that. Mike McCarthy, I mean, who's going to fire Mike McCarthy at this point? They've been having a pretty good season, so you got to think it's probably Nick Sirianni, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, yeah, at times they've kind of underachieved, and yeah, you have a super team, so maybe they're just carrying him, but it just kind of doesn't make sense to me to fire a guy who won you your first, not won you, but took you to a Super Bowl, and has this team looking like a team that could be a dynasty. Now, yeah, this season they've kind of struggled. They've underperformed in some spots, but they lost their offensive and defensive coordinators. They lost both of their offensive and defensive coordinators. They lost a couple of key players, and I mean it's kind of hard to keep that same level of play when you have a whole new staff. Yeah, I think McCarthy is possible. It's always possible, but McCarthy has a good relationship with Jerry Jones, and we know that's really all it takes to stay as the Cowboys coach. As the Seahawks are on 3rd and 4 in the red zone, we need the Seahawks to lose this game. Geno Smith with the quick trigger almost threw an interception, but that pass got broken up by somebody Hamilton Sr. And the Seahawks will kick this field goal. Eaton Stick for the Chargers is taking off. He's inside the 40. And again, for folks that may have just tuned in, we need the Chargers to win. We need the Cardinals to win. We need the Commanders to win. We need a ton of these teams to win, but I'm watching 3 of them at the same time. So that's why you see me randomly talking about what other teams are doing. Now it looks like Tyrod Taylor's hurt. So if Tyrod Taylor's hurt, I don't need any DeVito magic coming in here. Don't need any DeVito magic. And if Tyrod's hurt, we're probably finished as far as not winning this game. What's going on, Big Blue in the Bronx? Patriots lost. Yeah, man. Like that stinks. I mean, Bailey Zappi is awful. That dude is just really bad. I'm looking for the tweet I saw. There's a scenario where the Giants, and let me give credit as I read this. At WBG84 on Twitter says there's a scenario where the Giants stay at 5 even with the win over the Eagles. It requires a Titans win, a Jets win, and a Chargers win. So we got the Jets win. You know, it would have helped us more for the Patriots to win. And you got Gainwell in the open field. Gainwell is breaking tackles and he's inside. Look like the Eagles are starting to turn some of the heat on. But we got the Jets win. So we need a Titans win and we need a Chargers win. So that's if we win today. The Titans and Chargers also have to win, and we won't fall down to 8. But it looks like the Eagles are turning it on, so we may not need this. We may not need all these other teams to do things. As Jalen Hurts is extending the play, chased by Thibodeau, and he just throws that away. So a YouTuber that I respect a lot, that does a ton of homework, and I can't question. When I say I can't question what he says, I'll say I can't question that he just comes up with takes without doing his homework on it. Like he just isn't going to. He's not that kind of content creator. Brett Coleman said that put out some stats about Kayvon Thibodeau, and just pretty much just talked about how he's got those 11.5 sacks, but he had 40-something pressures this year. As far as all of the advanced metrics and things that you look at, he's just not making that same impact as most starting edge rushers in the league right now. And that was pretty interesting to me. I mean, I've seen him kind of be in spots where he really showed up and kind of took over games. And I've seen him in spots where he kind of disappears. And it makes people think about like when people were saying he's a lazy player and all of that. I don't think Thibodeau's a lazy player, but I do think he's a guy that doesn't really kick it into that extra gear unless he's got a bunch of people doubting him, a bunch of people just saying like that they don't believe in what he's doing. As the Eagles are running the tush push, and we almost stopped them, but they just let that play just keep going until they got across and they blew the whistle. You say he got to show up more. He's got to show up more just in general. 11, I think he's got 11 and a half sacks, like I said. 11 and a half sacks is great. That's great. I mean, that's you got to be doing something right, even if it's just cleanup stuff. You're doing something right. But he's got to show up more consistently just in general. He's got to be more disruptive. That's why you take a guy top 5. Just plain and simple. The Eagles are already in field goal range here. They're inside the 30. But yeah, that's pretty much all we need from Thibodeau is that he's just got to show up more consistently. You can't doubt that he doesn't have the tools. You can't say he's got a weird build, he's got a weird body. But you can say that you just want to see more consistent disruption from him. As he's standing up on the edge right now on 2nd and 9. Got another handoff, and it's a play action. And A.J. Brown looks like he fumbled the ball. Mike McFadden's got to get up and run with this, and he does. That could be a play where maybe you say it's a drop, but it looked like a clear-cut fumble to me, and A.J. Brown is hurt. A.J. Brown is hurt, and he's holding his knee. You really hate to see that, man, like, especially in the last game of the season. And, I mean, I'm not an Eagles fan, but this guy being the heart and soul of the Eagles offense and him going down like this in week 17, week 18 is kind of tough, man. I'm hoping that that's just a sprain or something, but it doesn't look good at all. Yeah, not good news at all for the Eagles, and horrible to see just as a football fan with A.J. Brown going out right there. But it looks like the Chiefs may still handle business right here against the Chargers, sadly, because Eaton Stick is a backup quarterback too. So it looks like the Chiefs are still probably going to win this game because they're kind of in control right now. And the Cardinals just punted it to the Seahawks. Yeah, the Eagles are in big trouble because you're right. They are down Devontae Smith right now. And after those big two, they don't really have like a bunch of great receivers. Giants should put their backups in. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I completely understand you, Sean. I really would like to secure this loss, but it may not even matter. It really may not even matter if the Titans win, which they've done, and if the Chargers win, which might not happen. But if the Chargers do win, it won't matter what happens in this game. Chargers just got on the board, though. I just looked up and saw a guy run into the end zone, so it looks like this play may come back. Let's see. You got Blaine Gabbert throwing the check down, and they're calling that a backwards lateral, but he clearly threw that forward. So this play is not going to be a Charger touchdown. So, yeah, the Chiefs still have the ball. That is really unfortunate for A.J. Brown, man. Like, you hate to see that. He's one of the top, three or four best players at his position in the league, man. Blaine Gabbert is going to get sacked right here by the Chargers. So the Chargers will get the ball back. And meanwhile, Tommy DeVito, who else but Tommy DeVito back in the game, running the play action. He's got time. He's going to look downfield, and he's going to try to take off and get sacked for a negative yardage. He got way too much time back there to not pull the trigger. You hate to see that Tyrod Taylor. Update on Washington. You got it right here popping up on the screen. Washington just blocked the field goal, and they're returning it, and they've returned it. He cut back, and he didn't get in the end zone. So Washington is in the red zone. DeVito handoff to Saquon. Saquon picks up about 4 right here on second down. Yeah, like I said, Washington is inside their own. They're inside Cowboys, the Cowboys 20-yard line, and hopefully they can put up 7 here on the board after they block that field goal. Don't have all the faith in the world, but hopefully they can. I would just love for Washington to not be picked above us. DeVito here on third down, hitting Jalen Hyatt, who once again isn't able to get enough depth here on third down and is a yard short. That's something he's going to have to do better with next year. And he's holding on his hamstring, and his season may be over. If he's tweaked his hamstring, you won't see him again today. Meanwhile, Julian Love is also jogging off the field. Looks like he's dealing with some type of injury. And the Giants will punt. And that ball is going to roll inside the 10-yard line, and there's a flag. Yeah, Tyrod got hurt on a sack on third down, the last drive for the Giants before this past one. And we don't know what's going on. I haven't had the volume up high enough to know, but looking good for A.J. Brown. At least he's walking. I was thinking it might be a torn ACL, but maybe it's just like a sprained ankle, which would be great for Philly because they're not going to get the buyout because they have to win today and hope that San Francisco loses, which I don't think they'll do. But if they did get a bye, then he would have ample time to recover. Yeah, but like I said, looking good for A.J. Brown. That he's going to actually be able to make something happen. So we're on commercial. So now I will direct my attention to the Seahawks and Cardinals game. And we're hoping for a Seahawks loss and a Cardinals win to push the Cardinals to a higher pick than us. You got Geno Smith here on 1st and 10, making calls at the line, 5 wide receivers. Geno Smith is throwing a screen to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he's going to get about a half a yard and end up going out of bounds. Flag on the play. Geno Smith is confused. And apparently there's no flag. Okay. So not really sure what that was. But you got a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Seahawks. And the Chargers also have the football. But let's focus on the Seahawks right now here on 2nd and 10. Geno is looking like he's taking a shot, and he's going to throw it to DK Metcalf, who tried to make a spectacular catch on the run, reaching kind of sideways to catch that, but couldn't make that catch. And now you have 3rd and 10. So now the Cardinals are going to send the dogs. They got the Barbarian Gordak in coverage, who busted the coverage against DK Metcalf. But Geno wasn't able to give him an accurate enough throw, and Metcalf wasn't able to make that spectacular catch. So now you got 3rd and 10 coming up for Seattle. Hopefully, the Cardinals can get a stop here, get the football back, and get on the board as they're sending everybody on 3rd down, and the ball's in the air, and it's intercepted. Budda Baker for the Cardinals has the football, and the Cardinals have the ball inside the 40. And this will be their spark, hopefully, to go down the field and get in the end zone. So there you go. That's what's going on right now in Cardinals world. Oh, and he dropped it. He dropped it. So not an interception. Budda Baker dropped it. Meanwhile, the Eagles have the football back. Giants are back out of the break. Jalen Hurts throwing it short. And I'm not sure who that is. They're down to their third and fourth options at wide receiver. Julio Jones. Wow. So now we're going to see if Julio Jones really still has it in him. Meanwhile, Tommy DeVito was hurt on the sideline. All right, Jalen Hurts handing the ball off here. And I mean, like, it was literally like a wall just pushed everything forward. And it looks like they are probably like a half yard short of the first down. If Arizona wins and Seahawks lose, we move up to 4. Exactly. Bobby Okereke tried to time the sneak and just jumped over the line. So the Eagles will get a fresh set of downs there. Exactly, yeah, and exactly what you're saying. Our second round pick gets much better if we're able to swap picks with the Cardinals. They don't have DeAndre Swift. They don't have AJ Brown. They don't have Devontae Smith. So they are definitely shorthanded going against us. Washington stalled out on the one. Wow. Oh, you hate to see that. Hand off to Gainwell. Gainwell's got a hole. Gainwell's cutting back. This dude is a beast. I mean, he just bounces off of everything. And the Eagles have a fresh set of downs again. Meanwhile, you got the Chargers on 3rd and 4 at their own 26. Eaton Stick is under pressure. He's still under pressure, trying to escape, and he's going to throw this ball up in the air and throw it away. I don't have much faith in the Chargers to get this win, so we need to lose today because the Chargers, they're sure not going to win. They're sure not going to win today. So Washington stalled out on the one. That's so Washington of them. Trying to get this hat adjusted right. So it doesn't fall off my head, but it's also not squeezing the life out of my head. Let's see what happened with the Commanders. Looks like they got 7. You sure? Yeah, it looks like they didn't stall out on 4th and goal. Sam Howell threw a touchdown to Brian Robinson. Yeah. So Washington is on the board, tied at 7 with the Cowboys. Yep. They're on the board. Did head coach and GM set back to rebuild this year? If you ask them, it was never a rebuild. It was a retool because the Giants just never rebuild. They retool. they always say that. But just looking at it from a rebuild perspective, I would say that most people going into the season thought that the Giants would be like in that 8 to 10 win kind of category. Arguably, they kind of fumbled a couple of games. They could have been in that range. But I'll say they probably shouldn't have paid Daniel Jones, but they have a great shot after a season like this to make right on it. And they should make right on it by taking a quarterback in the top of the draft. If they're able to do that, then I think the rebuild is on schedule. If they're not, and you're just saying let's move forward into year 6 with the same quarterback and expecting different results, I think at that point their jobs are gone. Because I mean, you don't expect Daniel Jones to do anything different than he's done his entire career. And if he's not able to take that team to the playoffs or have that team looking really good, or have it looking like to where the team may have let him down, but he really, really balled out. Even then, I mean, I think they're gone. I think they're gone unless they can really get something going, and that means back to the playoffs, which is unfortunate because I think a lot of Brian Dable and Joe Schoen, but results are results. Results are definitely results, and they have got to get something going. Meanwhile, you got Wink Martindale. I mean, the ranks for his defense don't look that great, but I just really think they've done a good job, under the circumstances for what their offense has done this year, being a historically awful offense. I think the defense has done a good job, and Jalen Hurts is taking a shot here, and he's overthrowing. I think that's Quez Watkins there. So the Eagles will have a 3rd and 10 coming up, and you got Blaine Gabbert taking a shot. Let's go Washington. Let's get this win. Let's get a win, Washington. What's my take on the report earlier that says the expectation is Jones will be the week 1 starter? If they want to do that, I mean, it's their jobs. But I'm thinking that report is mostly like if they draft a rookie quarterback that they're expecting that DJ would still start over that rookie quarterback at the beginning of the season to try to give him some time to develop. But if you take a guy like Penix or Bo Nix that's like a 5 or 6 year starter, do you really need them to sit for a year or sit for a half a year? Because what if, do you really want that guy to sit? So, I don't think it really means much of anything, but I think it does mean if we take a guy like Caleb Williams or even a guy like Drake May, I think at that point, or, a Cam Ward or one of those guys in the 2nd and 3rd round, I think then, yeah, you would see Daniel Jones go out there and start the beginning of the season just because those guys are kind of young and you want them to kind of get experience by taking a look at everything. But I always think the best thing for a rookie quarterback is just throwing them out there. I mean, I really think that's the best thing. And some guys say like, oh, you ruined them. And that has some truth to it. But also, some guys will elevate the teams that they're on, and you'll just be able to see it, and some guys just won't. And I think that's what we've been doing. We've been waiting to build that team around Daniel Jones so he can finally play well or play at a top level. But I think it kind of, those things, they go hand in hand. I think those players playing at the top level also has to do with the quarterback play. I mean, we do not have the worst offensive roster in NFL history or since the merger, but we literally are putting up like 11 points a game. Jalen Hurts is throwing that ball short. They went for it on 4th and 2, and they couldn't get that. I don't know what that was all about. Nick Sirianni is not doing a good job, and Jalen Hurts, his finger is gorked. Oh boy, they're gonna have to snap that back into place. I think Penix Jr. could very well be the best passer. Look at Kyler Murray in the open field, man. Okay, Cardinals stepping it up a little bit. Kyler Murray just took off for like 35 yards. Made a couple guys miss. They ran a bootleg. It's about 20-something yards. But do I think Penix Jr. is the best court passer? I think he's the best passer. Do I think he has the highest? I think he has about as high a ceiling as anybody else in this draft, and he possibly could be the best passer too. So he doesn't have the athleticism that other guys do. And James Conner is making a guy miss, showing off some power, fighting for the end zone as the Cardinals are down at the 2-yard line, knocking on the door. This will be beautiful. We can get a Cardinals win and a Washington win. That will do wonders for our dreams here today. Now, again, the Patriots have already kind of sealed that away of like, they're going to they're going to be picking above us because there's no way we can lose one of our wins. But um, the Cardinals and the Commanders can still help us out. Yeah, but I mean, who knows, man? Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't look too good either. I'm not to say he's going to be a bust, not to say that at all, but um, I just think you got to play it. You just got to play it where it lies. Sure, I'm hoping to be in a position to get one of these top guys, but I think a year like this, where you have like 3 or 4 guys that you think could possibly be like Pro Bowl type quarterbacks, I think at that point it's just like just let it play out because there were some people that really told you that um, Sam Darnold was going to be better than Josh Allen and he was going to be better than Lamar Jackson. And those things kind of didn't fall true. So you never know who's going to be the best quarterback. And it's not a guarantee that Caleb Williams and Drake May are going to be Hall of Fame guys. It could be just as possible that Drake May, that Penix, as you got Tyrod back in the game, it could be just as possible that um, Penix and Bo Nix and all those guys, it's possible that those guys could be good players too. Could be Pro Bowl type quarterbacks. They have that type of ability too. JJ McCarthy too. He's got a nice arm that he doesn't really get to use. There's a ton of Jalen Hurts, his finger is all messed up. 2nd and 5 for the Giants here. Hand off to Saquon. He's got a crease and that closed up quick. So Giants will be a short yard away from first down here. Yeah, the only problem with Penix is the injuries, but if you can move past that and you can justify, like, he hasn't gotten hurt this year. If you can say those injuries are finished, I could argue taking him as the top quarterback. I wouldn't do it, but you can make an argument for it if he was like 2 years younger and didn't have the injury history. Dude completely just revived Washington's program as the Giants ran a quarterback sneak to pick up this first down. And the Cardinals, from the 2-yard line, kick a field goal. That stinks. Whoa! It looks like Dallas is having a bad game today as the Commanders get another takeaway, and hopefully they can continue to do what they're doing. Hopefully they can put 7 more points up on the board. It's going to be a tough game for them to steal a win away from Dallas, but I believe they can do it. I believe they can do it. Yeah, like Penix has just dragged Washington out from the doldrums. The dude is a baller. He's just a complete baller. Second and 4 for the Giants here. Tyrod in the empty set. He's got time. He's hitting Wan'Dale Robinson, who does a great job turning around and getting that first down. You think Saquon gets a deal here or somewhere else? Because I'm thinking Saquon is just going to get franchise tagged again, to be honest with you. It's not what I want to happen. But I just cannot remember if I uploaded this video or not, because I think I just keep having to not upload it because I recorded this video the last couple of weeks and the Giants fumbled the ball. It'll fall back on top of it. But I've recorded this video the last couple of weeks, but it's kind of changed as games have happened. And now it'll make more sense because we'll have a whole body of work for the season. But with Saquon, I've been thinking you just give this guy like a 3-year fully guaranteed deal of about $11 million a year, and just go from there. Just give him fully guaranteed deal. It's not going to hurt our cap that much, and he's secure as the running back. So that's what I would do. But I'm thinking they're just going to franchise tag him one more time, and then they'll probably just let him walk next year. Oh, yeah, Shane. I was going to say Sean. Shane gives him his props, But still, I just think it's just more of we're going to franchise tag him. Tyrod lining up on 3rd and 11. He's 7 for 9 for 85 so far. He's got a little bit of time. He's taking a shot. You got guy wide open. Wando Robinson. Again, this dude is going to be really good for us once we get a quarterback. I'll say it over and over again. And Wandale puts us inside the 5-yard line. And the Eagles are reeling as they've lost half their roster almost, or at least their star players to injury so far. And we cannot, as the Giants, we cannot win this game, man. We can't win this game. And if we do win this game, then we need the Chargers to win, which they haven't been able to get anything going today. So 1st and goal for the Giants. Hand off to Saquon, and he's going to just prance right into the end zone. Really easy money. Meanwhile, Washington is driving too. Oh, man. Should we really be going against the Eagles, winning this game, and a game that they need to win, and we need to lose? Like, do we need? We don't really need this win, and they need it. And in fact, we need the loss. So the Eagles are definitely capable of coming back. And I mean, I just can't stand the Eagles. And part of me always wants to beat the Eagles, but we need to lose this game. Like this is at this point, this is a crucial part of this, especially as we have the Commanders in position to get things going. And we got the Cardinals in a close game against the Seahawks. And I'll talk about them now as you got Geno Smith handing off to Kenneth. What's the guy's last name? Kenneth something. Kenneth Walker. And the Seahawks have a 1st down. So this is going to be a tough game between the Cardinals and the Seahawks because it's just been a tight game so far for them. But if the Cardinals can pull off this win and the Commanders pull off the upset and the Giants win, I mean, Giants Nation is not going to be happy because that would have meant that we could have gotten the 3rd overall pick, and we didn't. Another handoff to Kenneth Walker. And, I mean, this dude is not going down. And he picks up about 6 yards. But as I was saying, we cannot afford to lose this game, to win this game, which sounds crazy. I mean, it's not even in my vernacular, as you see it. Like I said, I said we can't afford to lose this game, which you usually would say, but we can't afford to win this game. The only kind of golden ticket out of this is that like we would be the reason that Nick Sirianni got fired. We'd be the reason that the Eagles didn't get a 1st round bye. That would be fun. But at the same time, like let's get Jaden Daniels in here. Or let's get Caleb Williams in here. Or Drake May. But I am not trying to go down to pick 8. Pick 8 is entirely too low. Because right now, the way that the Chargers are playing, they're going to lose this game. And if they lose this game and we win, we're not going to have a higher pick than them. Geno Smith has forever to throw this ball. He's got a guy wide open. Tyler Lockett is wide open, and the Seahawks are inside the 25. Not good news for us. Yeah, that was Doug Peterson. That just pulled. Yeah. Except the Eagles tanked for what? I mean, they tanked for they didn't really tank. They had already secured a spot, I think. I can't remember. But did they tank? I don't think they were at the top of the draft, but they may have missed the playoffs. Jalen Hurts' rookie year, where they just benched him when they were playing well. But the Eagles right now are getting harassed. I have no idea why the Eagles ever go away from the run game. Last year, when we needed these wins in the worst way against the Eagles, they wouldn't stop running the ball, and their pass rush wouldn't stop getting to the backfield. Now, we need a loss, and the Eagles are playing horribly as they start off with about a 3.5, 4 yard run. Giants up 10-0. Geno Smith taking another shot to a wide open tight end, and he's going to just prance into the end zone. Easy money, Will Dissly. The Seahawks are up. They're up 10-3. Chargers still trailing 7-0. And again, folks, we're looking for a Chargers win and a Cardinals win. Cardinals are trailing 3-10, pending the extra point. So 3-9, pending the extra point. And the Chargers are trailing 0-7. Jalen Hurts is trying to make something happen. He looks like he'll just throw the ball away here on 2nd and 6. And again, the Eagles cannot get anything going. It looks like they're going to get blown out by the Giants. In a game that the Giants so desperately need to win. And the Eagles, the Giants so desperately need to lose, and the Eagles so desperately need to win. Man, I promise you, like if we don't win this, I mean, if we don't lose this game, and we had the chance to move up to 3, I'm gonna just absolutely lose it. 3rd and 6 coming up, and Jalen Hurts is gonna get sacked. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You all had one job. I literally was like planning this out about a month and a half ago. I'm like, if the Eagles are in this position where they need to win because they don't have the number 1 seed locked up, then they're going to have to go all out, and they're going all out, and they're just getting whooped because there's no AJ Brown, and there's no Devontae Smith, and there's no DeAndre Swift. We cannot afford to win this game, folks. Gunnar Olszewski looking like he's going to take a punt back, and we're already in field goal range. Oh my! The Eagles aren't doing this on purpose, but the Eagles fans are definitely going to take a lot of pride in losing this game. Are you kidding me, man? Like, I just can't believe this. I really can't believe this because we're really about to be in a position where we could have had a number 3 pick. I think it was the AJ Brown injury too that really did it. Is like it was probably the AJ Brown, and oh my, that what a throw by Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert was looking like Patrick Mahomes right there to throw to Mecole Hardman. Off balance, stepping up in the pocket, threw it off of one leg, threw a rocket in stride to Mecole Hardman. And the Chiefs are about to go up 10-0 or 14-0 on the Chargers. And I don't give the Chargers any shot at winning. So again, if we do not lose this game, the Chargers are going to take that 5th overall pick. We're going to be picking at 6, the highest, and the lowest we'll be picking is 8. And the Chiefs are, I mean, they're handling business. They like a much better team, even with their backup quarterback, even with no Travis Kelce. Much better team overall than the Chargers. It's not even a debate. Yeah, with the win, the Giants can fall down from from 6 to 8. Anywhere from 6 to 8. Because they're not going to get that 5th overall pick because the Chargers, again, the Chargers lose today, they're going to have 5 wins and we'd have 6 wins. So they're not getting the 5th pick. I really wish that the DeVito just shenanigans didn't happen. And we finally got something good going on for the Cardinals. Looks like they're going to go down and tie it. But if we didn't have that DeVito shenanigans going on, a win today wouldn't really hurt because we would have like the second pick locked up or the first pick locked up. All right, Tyrod inside the 50, throwing it to Darren Waller. Darren Waller's going to go down. That's not Darren Waller. That is Isaiah Hodgins. The Eagles punter tried to flop and Cam Brown didn't let him fall. What's going on, Mark Stewart? Hand off to Saquon, and he makes three guys literally miss and picks up a first down. Washington kicking a field goal. Joey Sly. Washington goes up 10-7. Oh boy, can't believe it. Okay, so Tennessee won today. So Tennessee won today, like I said, and their strength of schedule is more difficult than the Giants' strength of schedule. So I think at this point the Giants could only fall down to the sixth. Can I say sixth? The sixth overall pick is the lowest it looks like the Giants can go now because Tennessee won today. They have a higher strength of schedule. So it looks like we can go down to 6. Tyrod's got a shot. He's taking another shot. And, of course, Darren Waller catches a perfect pass from Tyrod Taylor inside the end zone. Not in the end zone, but inside, close to the red zone, inside the 25. Yeah, our franchise is definitely cursed, Joe Smo. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully, as I've said all year long, maybe this doesn't matter, and we'll just trade up for a quarterback, and we'll all be just going in the next season with the winning culture anyway. Tyrod Taylor is 10 for 12, 142 yards so far. He's had all day to throw the football. Wan'Dale Robinson is out in the open field, and he's gonna. He's like 3 yards away from. I just don't get it. Why couldn't we do this early on in the season with the $40 million quarterback? Why couldn't we do this with the $40 million quarterback against Dallas? Why does Dallas beat us 89-0, but against the Eagles, we go to the wire 2 weeks ago, and now we're about to blow the Eagles out? Like, are you kidding me? I honestly just can't. I just don't believe it. Tyrod is throwing it option. Saquon has one guy to miss, and he's in the end zone. Second rushing touchdown of the day. And I mean, listen, that kind of makes me happy that Saquon has 2 rushing touchdowns in what could be his last game as a Giant. But makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. This is the types of stuff that just makes me say the NFL is fixed. The NFL's got to be fixed. As they zoom in on Will Hernandez in the Cardinals game, Kyler Murray's got the ball. He is throwing it, and they got a first down. But it's looking like it's not going to matter. We're up 17-0. Oh, boy. Like, why can't we do this with our $160 million quarterback in week 1? Why are we doing this with our backup in week 17 against a playoff team who people think had one of the best, has a top 2-3 roster in the league, even missing Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and DeAndre Swift? Them in the trenches, we should not be in this game. as Brett Coleman said, I mean, some people say that the Giants have the worst roster in the league, which I don't agree with, but we should not be competing. I mean, this is getting ridiculous, man. This is getting ridiculous. I just can't believe this because as the Chargers, Eaton Stick just overthrew a wide open Quentin Johnston on a go route, but there's a flag. Okay. Um, if we can get the Chargers win, this doesn't hurt as bad. But it's looking like I said that the Commanders are winning right now. The Cardinals just threw a flea flicker and they're driving. They're inside the red zone. We could have possibly been at the third overall pick. We need an Eagles comeback in the worst way. Worst case scenario, we pick sixth overall. If the Chargers can come back from this 10-point deficit against the Chiefs and Blaine Gabbert, and Jalen Hurts is going down. Are you kidding me? We'll move down to 6. I think 7 is possible, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. Pretty sure it's 6, like I said, that we will move out down to. We will swap picks with the Chargers. The Eagles are going to be out in the first round. Like they're going to be out in the first round at the way that they're playing, man. Like, and why is Bobby Okereke not in the Pro Bowl? Short throw to Julio Jones. I doubt there's anybody open for the Eagles, being honest with you. Because all of these other kind of watching, this is supposed to be like a watch party. Eating Stick, ripping it to the other side of the field. They're yards short on third down. But this watch party has kind of become meaningless because it looks like the Giants are going to blow the Eagles out. It looks like they're going to go up 24-0 at the half. Nice punt from the Eagles. Gunnar Olszewski. We need a fumble from Gunnar Olszewski or something. So we have the ball at the 26. But it just looks like the Eagles can't get anybody open against us. It looks like they aren't able to get anything going. Yeah, they can still get a quarterback at 6, but I'm thinking like if you want to trade up to 1, it's a lot easier to do that from 3 than it is from 6. And the thing is, you could also just stay put and you're guaranteed to get one of the top 3 quarterbacks if you're picking at 3. You're guaranteed. Like they can only take 2 players ahead of you. The Giants are absolutely like dismantling the Eagles on both sides of the football. Like this is the best the Giants offense has looked. I mean, ever. This is the best the Giants offense has ever looked. It's like they can't cover Wan'Dale Robinson. They can't cover Darren Waller. They can't get any pass rush on Tyrod Taylor. Of course, Darren Waller's out with a stinger now, but they can't get anything going. They can't get past Matt Peart on one-on-one rush reps. And next year, this same roster with these same players will be useless. They won't be able to do anything. They'll be scoring 8 points a game. But they've already got 17 in the first half. Tyrod in the empty set, 3rd and 2. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Looks like Tyrod is just trying to draw somebody offside before the 2 minute warning, and it's going to go. Man. The Eagles can, like, really, y'all gonna really lose this game. I just really don't get it. Like, I can't, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, are they that dependent? Like, are they this dependent on AJ Brown? Don't be mad at us for winning. Be pissed at the Eagles for being frauds. The thing that's annoying me is that I know for a fact, 100%, whatever week in the first 4 or 5 weeks that we play the Eagles next year, I guarantee you, if Daniel Jones is out there or even Tyrod Taylor is out there with a better receiver, say we got Malik Neighbors, say we have Joe Alt, say we brought in the guard from the Patriots, say we've improved the offensive line and the defensive line. We brought in a new pass rusher. We brought in a new wide receiver. We do all of that next year against the Eagles. Guarantee you, we're not going to be able to block the Eagles. Guarantee you, we're not going to be able to block their defense. We're not going to be able to score 10 points. They're going to be putting up 60 points against us or something ridiculous like that. I guarantee you. I just guarantee you that we're going to be moving uh, next year. We won't be able to compete with this team. Like there's just no way. Like I would just bet like $2 billion that next year we're gonna come out of whatever off season or all these improvements that we just made to this team that is literally blowing the Eagles off the field and should have won the last game. This is both games they should have won. Um, and I guarantee you they won't be able to compete with the Eagles next year. Tyrod on 3rd and 2. He's taking a shot, and you got Saquon wide open, man. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Tyrod is over 200 yards in the first half. Tyrod taking off. You got Darius Slayton wide open. He's going to walk into the end zone. 24 zip at the half. Are you kidding me, man? The game's over. The game's over at this point, folks. It's over. I'm just so disgusted. Like this is like really. This is what we get. This is what we get. This is what we get, folks. When we needed a loss the most, this is the team that shows up. Why couldn't I see this offense even 5 weeks ago? Why couldn't I see this offense at the beginning of the season? Are you kidding me? Like, I guarantee you we won't score 24 points in the first half of both games next year. Like it just doesn't make sense. I just can't say I've ever seen anything like this. I guarantee you that the Cardinals and Washington are going to win their games. I guarantee you. I just guarantee you. I just guarantee you it's not going to happen. Like I guarantee you. The Cardinals and Washington are going to win their games. The Chargers are going to lose, and the Giants are going to be picking sixth overall. What's going on, Quincy? Listen, I completely understand it, and I'm very happy on that side of the coin. But on the other side of the coin, I just realized like we're gonna have to see Daniel Jones come out here against this same team next year in a game that we're like actually going to be excited about against Philly next year because it'll be early on in the season, and he's gonna get blown off the field. That's what annoys me, is that like they're showing up like this and they're dominating this team this way, but next year this isn't gonna happen. Like this just isn't gonna happen. Like, if this was something we could build off of, I would be great. But I've seen this team constantly play well in the last game of the season. And I'm thinking, like, oh, yeah, we're going to be able to build off of this next year. And it never happens. Next year, we won't be able to block this team for some reason. You got Matt Parrott out here dancing like a dancing bear, just blocking. I mean, just holding up. And Jalen Hurts is probably going to be sitting down and on the bench in the fourth quarter. These backup receivers for Philly are awful. They're terrible. I mean, they they can't get open against the likes of Cordell Flott. I mean, like they're awful. Jalen Hurts taking a shot, and that's going to be intercepted. That kind of made me happy. It didn't get intercepted. He didn't get his feet down, but that was a nice play on the ball. That's what I'm saying. But also at the same time, Matt Parrott has never played this well in his career. It's just from just like a whoa, he got his feet down. No, he got his feet down right there. I mean, listen, at this point, I just got to root for. I just got to enjoy the win at this point because at this point they're not coming back. But McKinney definitely got his feet down, and they're going to challenge that, and we're going to get that ball back. But pretty much what I was saying is like I don't know what I was saying. I would have to rewind it now. But it's just a mess right now. Being honest with you, is like Matt Parrott. That's what I was saying. Matt Parrott has never gone out there and blocked somebody the way he's blocking Hassan Reddick today. Like he's never done that his entire life. Whether it's Tyrod Taylor back there or garbage can Daniel Jones, and I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a garbage can. I'm saying a physical, actual garbage can. Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, Phil Simms at his age now, Eli Manning, and the worst part, it doesn't matter. Matt Parrott was never blocking anybody the way he is today. My thing is, there's nothing in the world stopping us from trading up for a quarterback, and we won't do it. We won't do it. We just won't do it, folks. I mean, Washington is going to be at like 2. New England's going to be at 3. The Cardinals are going to be probably at 4 or somewhere, however all this stuff works in. But these teams are going to be at that at that 2, 3, and 4 mark. And pretty much, yeah, these teams are going to be at the top of those drafts, and all three of those teams, besides the Cardinals, but Washington and New England could very well take quarterbacks. And that's what I'm saying is I don't think we'll trade up. Like, I don't think we'll trade up because we literally have to trade up to get a quarterback. We have to move up from 6 because it's looking like it's going to be 6 now or 7. We have to move up from 6 or 7 all the way up to 1. So teams like Washington that say, oh, we want to move up and get Caleb Williams. Teams like anybody else, we're going to have to. But my biggest competitor probably here is Washington. And the Bears are going to say, we can move down to 3 and get and I'm looking at Geno Smith throwing an incompletion there. Tyrod Taylor is just on fire today. He's got a guy open again, and he misses him. But yeah, I mean, like I said, at this point, it's like, okay, at least Dallas is scoring. So that's not gonna make me feel as bad. But pretty much where I was going with this. No idea at this point. I'll swoop back around whenever my mind swoops back around to that point. But who knows? You said you think the Eagles are throwing this game. At this point, man, like who knows? Maybe they are. Because like they have everything to gain from winning this game, like winning the NFC East, like trying to get the first seed. They have everything to gain from winning. But I wouldn't put it past the city of brotherly love to throw this game. I just wouldn't. Not to say that I think they are, but I just wouldn't. Especially a guy like Nick Sirianni. Tyrod Taylor's 15 for 18, 229 in the touchdown in the first half. Tyrod taking a shot, and that ball is going to go out of bounds. The Giants finally go 3 and out with 112 left for Philly. Literally, Philly has to get on the board here. But they don't have the firepower. They don't have DeVonta Smith. They don't have DeAndre Swift. They don't have A.J. Brown. Not sure what's going on with Dallas Goedert. I haven't heard his name. I'm not sure if he's healthy or not. But they don't have the firepower to come back from a 24-point deficit with all these guys hurt. And they're calling for a fair catch. We desperately need the Eagles to go down the field and score a touchdown as they got their backup quarterback in there. Yeah, the Eagles threw this game. The Eagles threw this game. They threw this game. Why are you giving up this quick? Why are you giving up? Why is Mariota gone like in the game this quick? They threw this game. And he just threw an intercept. Like they're throwing this game. The Eagles are throwing the game. Like at this point, they threw the game. They threw the game. The Giants are about to go up 31-0 at half. Like Xavier McKinney, finally something bad happens, but it has no effect on the game. He tried to get Shep a touchdown and he got intercepted. So I mean, like that at this point in a blowout, Tyrod is like, who cares? Like, try to get Shep a touchdown. And they're going nowhere. I just listen, man. Like, I'm very happy that we're beating the Eagles because I just it's always great to beat the Eagles, but at the same time, it's like really, really. Like this is a playoff team, and they took their quarterback out in the first half. Like they took their guy out in the first half. Like, come on, man. Like we could have very well had a shot at Jaden Daniels. You got to think they're probably going to put Cowboys are up 21-10. That story's over. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Eagles do a lot of petty stuff like that. If you ask me, like true logic, do I really, really think that they said like we're gonna lose on purpose? No, but it just feels like the energy that you always get from the Eagles is just like we're gonna screw you over. But yeah, listen, it's all over now. Shout out to Tara Belly in the chat, man. Like, listen, the chat has been kind of gloomy because this was a chance to get to number 3. Of course, we hate the Eagles. Of course, we hate the Eagles. Of course, we wanted to win this game from that perspective. But at the same time, you're looking at this and saying, like, man, we could have been at 4, and now we're gonna be at 6. And it's a lot easier to move up from 4 or even 3 than it is from 6. A lot easier to move up from 4 or 3. Now, it does make me feel a lot better because Washington and the Cardinals, it looks like they're not going to win either. So they didn't win. So it's not like we could have got the 4th or 3rd pick. But you don't want to move down to 6 either. And it doesn't look like the Chargers are going to get. Let me turn off all this nature sounds that they got on NFL Sunday Ticket. But yeah, we need a guy that can get something going. And Tyrod Taylor, again, whether it's Tyrod Taylor, whether it's Daniel Jones, whether it's Tommy DeVito, no matter who it is, it's just like this, folks. Like, none of these guys are going to come out next year and do this. What Tyrod Taylor is doing right now, which is pretty much a flawless first half, And the only reason he doesn't have a flawless first half is because looking at this, he tried to force the ball to Sterling Shepard because everybody in the whole stadium knows, get Sterling Shepard the ball, try to get him a touchdown because this is probably his last game in the NFL. Bradbury knew it. Like, he knows Sterling Shepard's not going to beat him on anything but a slant anyway. So everybody knows they're going to try to force Shep the ball. So that's why he doesn't have a perfect game. But other than that, he had like 18 for 20, 270 something yards, ridiculous numbers. And he's not going to do that against the Eagles next year. We're not going to pass protect against the Eagles like this next year. We're not going to be able to run the ball like this against the Eagles next year. None of this is going to happen next year. And that's the frustrating part. It's like, why are we doing this when it doesn't matter? Why couldn't we do this when Tyrod first got into the games? Why couldn't we do this when Daniel Jones, the $40 million a year guy, why couldn't we do this with him? Our offense did not look like this at any point in the entire year. And this is not the worst defense that we faced the entire year. Now, again, A.J. Brown going out, DeAndre Swift going out, Devontae Smith going out, definitely does something. It definitely does something to your roster. Like, I can understand how having Julio Jones as your number one receiver definitely limits what you can do as an offense. Like, it's just plain and simple. Like, they don't have weapons right now, to be honest, besides running the football. So I can understand that. But their defense, they look horrible. Like, they can't stop a nosebleed. They can't do anything. Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 targets, 5 catches, 85 yards. Saquon Barkley, 2 for 2, 51 yards. Darius Slayton, 4 receptions for 45 yards. I think he's got a career high and a touchdown. Darren Waller, 2 for 2, 27 yards. Isaiah Hodgins, 2 for 2, 21 yards. It's been real easy stuff today. Tyrod Taylor, like I said, 229, 15 for 20, a touchdown, a sack, an interception, trying to force the ball to Shep in his swan song game. But we haven't faced any resistance pretty much on offense. Chargers cut the lead to 4. Yeah. I mean, we absolutely need this Chargers win. We need the Chargers to win in the worst way now. Now, like I said, they don't have their starter. They got some guys injured. But the Chiefs are playing their backups too. I mean, man. But yeah, the Giants are a 6-win team. They're not losing this. They're not losing this lead. They're a 6-win team. Shout out to Talking Echo for the $4.99. He says McCarthy or Penix next season and comment. I don't know how to feel about that. Caleb Williams might be coming back to DC. Yeah. I mean, I can already see it. I really believe that the Commanders are either going to get Caleb Williams at number 2, or they're going to make that trade up to 1, give up a couple first-round picks or whatever you got to give up to move up 1 pick to get Caleb Williams. And I think once that happens, maybe you trade up to 2 to get that pick. You know, maybe you trade up to 2 where the Bears would have that next pick at and try to get a quarterback. But I'm thinking that the Bears are going to trade that to somebody, and that is going to make things difficult for the Giants to get a quarterback. Now, there's an outside chance that we can get a guy like Jaden Daniels. There's an outside chance because, you know, you have your first pick. Let's take a look at the Tankathon order again. You got your first pick is going to be the Bears, the Carolina Panthers pick. That's their first pick. Let's just say a quarterback goes there and they trade out of it. So let's say that, and shout out to New England. It looks like, the Commanders will get that pick back from New England after they lose today. But so the Panthers will get this probably trade this out with Washington. So let's say the Panthers trade back one spot and they are having the second pick. So let's say Caleb Williams goes first, and then the Panthers are at number 2. So at that point, it's a Drake May sweepstakes. So let's say New England wants to move up a spot, or let's say the Titans want to move up from 7 to 2, or I'm guessing maybe the Giants too. So there's going to be probably 2 quarterbacks going there. And then at that point, the Patriots will be up. They're taking the 3rd quarterback. So unless the Giants make a move to trade up to either 1 or 2, or maybe 3, because maybe that's just how things will fall. But unless they make a trade up, they're not getting one of the top 3 quarterbacks. I don't know for a fact, but I feel good about the idea that Penix will be there when we pick. The thing is, Penix has a ton of injury issues as far as history goes. He's also, I think, going to be like 26 or 25 whenever he starts playing. He's going to be pretty up there in age. So those are 2 things that would say maybe we don't take Penix at 6 or at 5. Maybe we take him at 15. Well, guess what? You're going to have to find somebody that wants to trade up for a player at 5 or 6 from 15. And then you're going to have to hope that no one else loves Penix. And at 7, Tennessee doesn't say, why don't we just take Penix? Or Minnesota doesn't say, why don't we just take Penix? So what you have to do is you have to take a quarterback there. I don't think they will. I think they'll probably be in that sweepstakes for Malik Nabers or Rome Odunze, because I'm thinking that the Bears already have it in their mind that they're taking Marvin Harrison Jr., whatever pick that they trade to in the top 5. So it's looking kind of gloomy because I just don't believe the Giants will trade up, and I don't think that they'll take Penix Jr. or J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix at that spot at 5 or 6. And then again, we got to hope that the Chargers can come out with this win against the Chiefs, or we'll be picking 6. Luckily, the Titans won today. Shout out to Talking Echo again for the 199. He says, CW, Dak, and Hurts, NFC East quarterback. Caleb Williams, Dak, and Hurts, NFC East quarterbacks, and then DJ. Yeah. And again, let's say that Daniel Jones hasn't been a disappointment playing-wise at quarterback. You're in the top 5, and your quarterback is coming off of his 2nd neck injury in 3 years, and he's coming off of an ACL, and he's a running quarterback that doesn't slide that well. You're going to go into this season with him as your option, as your starting guy. That's going to be your plan. Performance aside. Now, when you lump in performance, he has not been a great performer at the position, regardless of what's around him. And then he's a guy also that has the neck injuries and then also has the ACL. And he's a running quarterback. And he's a guy that will stick his head in there. So you're going to ignore the position essentially because you don't know if he'll even be able to be the same sort of running quarterback that he was. You don't know if his neck will hold up through another season. So it is malpractice, in my opinion, to not take a quarterback. And I really can almost see it now that we're not taking a quarterback. Because I don't see Joe Shane trading up. And we just keep hearing all this stuff about we're happy with Daniel Jones. And I think that it was a position where they're like, we're happy with Daniel Jones, but if Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams falls into our lap, we'll take them. But if those guys don't fall into their laps, I don't think they take them. So, yeah, again, it's going to be about Malik Nabers or Joe Alt or one of these guys or Rome Odunze. It's going to be something like that. And, yeah, I mean, there's truth to that. There's truth to that in my mind. Because why are they playing so bad on defense? Offense, everybody's hurt. AJ Brown's hurt. Devontae Smith's hurt. DeAndre Swift's hurt. But why is their defense playing so bad? Why is their defense that we said we want to close the gap against and we just want to be able to run the ball or pass protect against. Why is that defense that we could not move the ball against at all or set up our offense again? Why are they not able to do anything against Tyrod Taylor? It doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. And people say like, oh, well, the Giants, I mean, they're winning it straight up, and the Eagles will never throw this game, and that makes logical sense. And this is what I would go with if I had to make a bet of like what's really going on. But who knows, man? With the Eagles, anything is always possible with the Eagles. As Mason Crosby is wearing 21 as a kicker, still is crazy to me. Still is crazy to me. Is Dallas Goedert, does he have a jersey today? Is he playing? Is he healthy? He is. He has a catch today. So he should be doing things. Unless they're probably triple teaming him. But it just doesn't make sense to me that their defense isn't able to deal with this Giants offense. And if not for us forcing the ball to Sterling Shepard on his last day here, we probably will be up 31-0 at the half. And the Chargers got a nice return to start things off. Let's go Chargers. Let's hope that they can win this game and stop ourselves from sabotaging the pick that we already have. And I guess, Tyrod Taylor, that game against the Bills, if he does well against that and he doesn't have that brain fart on the goal line, you probably have a team that is picking 8th or 9th. Yeah, I wouldn't have any issue with Olu either. I wouldn't have any issue there either. Because, I mean, it is what it is. We need a new offensive line coach because we need a guy that can actually get the best out of the offensive lineman that we're drafting every year in the top 10. But even more than that, I feel like we need a top of the line wide receiver. If we're not going to get a quarterback, we need a receiver that's just always open. Yeah, and that's what we remember. Like the Eagles legitimately benched Jalen Hurts. And then after that, or was it right before that, the Devontae Smith trade happened. You said he took Bobby McCain's jersey. Yeah. So, like, yeah, we remember. But I'm just telling you right now, I can predict the future. I can predict the future. And if they go into next season with Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito as their starting and backup quarterbacks, they will not be here in 2025. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Their reign of terror will be over. And it'll be somebody else at GM and somebody else at coach in 2025 for the Giants. And it's just that simple. And it's unfortunate because I think this is the right grouping. But if they're not able to make the right decision at quarterback, there's not much you can do. And again, this is me like, I want the best for Daniel Jones. I hope that dude has a great career, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen in year 6 on the Giants. At least a change of scenery may be able to ignite something in them to have them play at a different level. But right now, it's just not much going on, man. So the Giants are up 24-0. The Eagles have the ball at the 45 after 2 quick first downs. Marcus Mariota's running away, and he is going to just dive on the ground. And it looked like he fumbled the ball, but, I mean, that's a slide. Will the Titans move on from Levis? I don't think the Titans have any sort of what am I thinking of? Loyalty to Will Levis. When did Will Levis go again? Yeah, in the top 3, we would take Jaden Daniels. I don't think there's no way that you take Marvin Harrison Jr. over any one of these top 3 quarterbacks, because who's going to throw him the ball? Yeah, since Will Levis went in the second round, I'm just not sure that they're going to. I'm just not sure that they would. As we got a handoff again, I'm just not sure that Will Levis has as much job security. Yeah, like all that's going to happen is Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get here. He's going to be open. He's not going to get the ball. People are going to say he's not good. Daniel Jones is going to throw the ball behind him. He's going to try to catch it like this and drop it. And it's just, what's the point, man? Like, what's the point? And it's just like getting to the point where it's not even as much about Daniel Jones as much as it's about like, let's just give somebody else an opportunity to do something. Let's just try something new as a whole, because what has been going on the past couple of years has us as literally the worst team in football record wise since like 2017 or something like that. Most of Daniel Jones's tenure, and McKinney's putting on a clinic today at safety, trying to get paid. And the Chiefs just fumble here on this punt return, but they got it back. We need this Chargers winning the world in the worst way. 4th and 8, the Eagles are going for it. Clock winding down. They'll take a flag. So at this point, I probably can just switch off this Cardinals game because it has no effect on us at all. Because we're not going to blow this 24-point lead with no Jalen Hurts and none of their receivers and nothing like that. So I can probably just put on a game that only has the Chargers and the Giants game on. So the Eagles will punt, 4th and 13. I don't know why they're punting. And they're going to get Gunnar Olszewski is like running to go get the ball. I don't know what he was trying to do right there. Maybe he was trying to kick it out of the back of the end zone, but so they don't let you watch 2 games at once. It's funny. Okay, do. Okay. So let me throw on this Chargers game and the Giants game. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna very much be annoying to have a guy like Malik Neighbors out there and no one to get him the ball. And then have guys like evaluate him and say, like, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that, he can't do this. Well, Jalen Hyatt has been open most of the year. Until teams started to kind of get a beat on him. But if you can't get him the ball, you can't get him the ball, and he's not effective. Now, a guy like both of them, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors, but especially Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a guy that's just going to be open. Like, he's just going to be open all day. Like, he's going to just be a guy that will go out there. Please be an interception here. The Chiefs just threw up a prayer and caught that by Mecole Hardman. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a guy that's just going to be open in the short area. Yeah, the Cardinals game doesn't even matter at this point because, like I said, we're not going to blow this lead. Yeah, it does bring me joy at the same time to see Nick Sirianni lose because no one likes that dude. Like no one on the planet likes him. Eagles fans don't like him. He just is a guy that you just look at and immediately don't like. I wonder what Eagles fans are thinking about this game. Like, I wonder if they're like celebrating because they're like, now the Giants can't get a quarterback, or if they are, annoyed because they just kind of just blew it. I'm be curious to find out what their perspective of this game is. Because at this point, like, we're not winning this game. We're not losing this game at this point. So there's no point in me continuing to cry over spilled milk. I'll save my crying over spilled milk for my post game video. But Tyrod Taylor making a guy miss, sliding about a yard short of the first down. They may give it to him. That slide rule is really strange in the NFL. Sometimes a guy will slide and end up sliding beyond end up like finishing his slide beyond the first down marker, and they'll say like, "Oh, well, it's the first down." And sometimes, it is what it is. Okay, so they actually called it right this time, 3rd-and-1. Yeah, draft day, we'll see. We'll see. Like, we'll see. At the end of the day, maybe Jaden Daniels is still on the board, and that's the guy I want. Maybe he's still on the board at that point. And what's really going to make me mad is if he's on the board and we pass. Tyrod making something happen on the run, taking off, another slide. But he says, I get Diggy at 3 will be better. We can get Penix, McCarthy, Daniels at 6, right? Jaden Daniels is a toss-up. I'm thinking, especially some of the reports that have come out, some people like Jaden Daniels more than Drake May, at least from reports. So that makes me think that Jaden Daniels is going to go top 3 or top 4. Now the Eagles defense is playing well. Okay, sure. But some people like him better than Drake May. And the Cowboys are just putting it on the Commanders. 28-10 now. The Cowboys clearly look like the better team overall this year than the Eagles, which I didn't expect. I really thought that they would be, the second best team in the NFC East. 3rd-and-3. Tyrod's got time. You got a guy wide open in the middle of the field. Darius Slayton, he's got space. They are blocking for him. Man, stay in bounds, man. Come on now. You could have had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, something like that. I'm liking what Darius Slayton's doing this year. The body control, the yak is much better this year. Much better this year after the catch. He has not been a guy that's given you anything pretty much after the catch before, but this year he's really getting it done. First player I think since Odell Beckham to have back-to-back 50-something yard touchdowns. But yeah, hopefully Saquon can get his 1,000 yards, but it's not looking like it. Darius Slayton again has career high numbers this year. So that's happy for him. And there's an injured Giant. I couldn't tell who that was. Justin Pugh. Looks like he's not hurt too bad, so I can't tell though. All right, I need Eaton Stick to pull out some magic. He's taking off running. He's cutting back, and he's sliding at the same. That was a weird play. Tyrod Taylor got a little time. Dancing a little bit. Shep with a catch. At least he touched the ball in his last game. It would be great to see him get a touchdown, but there's a flag on the field. So now you got a penalty. I don't know if that was holding or a legal man downfield, but that nullifies that catch. It was holding. Shep is still in the game. Saquon is lined up at receiver. Saquon looks like he's coming to the backfield, but he's not. Fake screen. Tyrod is making some guys miss. There's flags all over the place, making another dude miss, and he's throwing the ball away. That was clearly that's going to be a hold, and Tyrod is hurt. Oh man, who knows what happened to Tyrod right there? But I mean, you hate to see anybody get hurt in the last game of the season. Um, let's see, he threw that away. I don't know what happened right there. I don't know what got hurt, but it looks like he's in a lot of pain. And it's like once we as Giants fans got to a point where we're like, okay, well, let's just enjoy the rest of this game. Let's just see us run up the score. Then you got guys getting hurt, and you got the offense not being able to do anything. Yeah. I mean, Tyrod is another guy who's injury prone. We got an injury. Like, this is what happens when you have an injury prone starter and an injury prone backup. This is what happens. Like, why do you have an injury prone starter and injury prone backup? Yeah, I hope he's all right, but exactly, like he's kind of just made like he gets hurt pretty much. There hasn't been one. If there's a game I haven't seen him get hurt, it's been like one or two games out of all the games he's played in as a quarterback. There's been several times he's come in as the backup and gotten hurt. I mean, the Commanders are just getting blown off the field, but they're also a worse team. Like let's keep it real. Like I said weeks ago, like the Commanders are also just a worse team than us, and like a lot of these teams are also just worse teams than us. But it's still frustrating because we could have gotten a higher pick. So the Giants are here on third and 17. I can't tell who's in that quarterback. You got to think they'll probably just leave DeVito in now. It looks like it's DeVito. I mean, what's the point of just keep on taking in and taking out quarterbacks? Third and 17, DeVito he's got time. He's going to hit the check down. You got Eric Gray picking up about 10 yards. We really need the Chargers to score right here as they're in the red zone, and that game is more important than our game at this point. Eaton Stick just really slides down, and they don't score. I mean, like Eaton Stick just really ran backwards and slid. The Chiefs are celebrating this sack like they just won the Super Bowl. I've never seen a team celebrate a sack like that. Like the entire team just ran around on the sideline. The fans were cheering. Like this was like the best sack of all time, if you let them tell it. Oh yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is, and the draft content is already underway. I already got a video about what 30-40% done on Jaden Daniels. That's gonna be my first video this year on the draft, guys. Um, but yeah, I mean it's underway. Yeah, the Chargers are down 10-9 after they gave up that sack. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is at the end of the day. They're gonna do whatever they do. We can't get out on the field and play football for them and tank for them or do whatever we want to do. We can't do any of that. We just got to hope the guys that are on the field play well. And I was just saying it's just frustrating because you see them play well in situations where it's not advantageous to play well, like today. And you see them go out there in situations where you're like, okay, let's just see a good game. Let's go out there and compete. Let's go out there and have fun. It's primetime football. We're playing the Dallas Cowboys. How about we go out there and have fun and like have it to where like even if we don't win this game, we can say like, okay, like remember this play that Daniel Jones threw to Darren Waller, and remember this, and we could talk about something. But 40 to nothing, 40 to nothing, 89-10. 89 to what, 10 or 13? Something ridiculous. Like, seriously, just seriously, just bad football. Every time we want to see good football, we get bad football. Every time we want to secure a higher pick, we get good football. This team is playing sound football. They're tackling well. They're swarming to the ball. They're getting pressure almost every snap. They're playing great coverage. The wide receivers are always open. The offensive line is blocking. But you couldn't do that when we needed you to do it most. You couldn't do it when we needed you to do it most. Now, like I said, this makes me feel better because, Washington, Marcus Mariota just got kind of upended. He just got hit in his leg, but it looks like he's okay. But again, like the Patriots won. The Patriots lost. The Commanders are about to lose, and it looks like the Cardinals are tied up with the Seahawks. So that can go either way. So I mean, having the highest pick we could have possibly gotten being 4 and moving to 5 or 6, that doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, like who cares? But if it would have been 3, that would have been really upsetting. Meanwhile, Dallas is up 35 to 10. They are just whooping the division this year. When Shep leaves, the boat curse might be over and the Giants might turn the corner. All right, 3rd and 5 for Philly and Marcus Mariota here. He's got the edge. He's going to pick up a first down, and he's going to take this out of bounds. So Eagles finally get something going. 4 minutes left in the third quarter to come up with this win. We really need it in the worst way. Can y'all take what's the guy's name? Chris Jones. Can you get him out of the game? I don't need Chris Jones making plays. Like I don't need Chris Jones sacking, Eaton Stick in the red zone. What's the point of that? Take Chris Jones out of the game. Why bench Patrick Mahomes and and bench Travis Kelce if you're going to play Chris Jones. Get that dude out of the game. There's no reason for him to be playing. You got Blaine Gabbert taking off. This is going to make this a 3rd and 3 for the Chiefs. So hopefully the Chargers can get them off the field here on 3rd and 3. But like I said, can you get like these Chiefs starters out of the game? Why are you benching Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, but your most important defensive player, you got him out there playing against Eaton Stick in a meaningless game for the Chiefs? Mariota's trying to make something happen. Mariota's got the edge. He's throwing this ball. He tried to make a spectacular throw to Boston Scott of all people. Why are you throwing it up to Boston Scott? One thing that makes me happy is Boston Scott hasn't done anything against us this year. Yeah, all these players do want their incentives. I don't know what's in everybody's deal, but yeah, that's what these guys are playing for. Look at Kayvon Thibodeau getting off the edge like a madman. Kayvon Thibodeau, I mean, came off the edge like a literal madman. And it's like, why can't you do that every play, man? Yeah, this may be Wink Martindale's last game too, and Mike Kafka's last game. So they might have just said like, screw it, like you guys aren't getting a better draft pick. Quez Watkins picks up a first down for the Eagles. Can we get the Chiefs off the field? Can the Chargers defense step up? Can Khalil Mack make a play, man? Like, again, why bench Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and not bench the rest of your starters, man? Like, just let the Chargers go out there and win a game. Second down, and it looks like 1 for the Eagles. 2nd and 3. This will make this a 3rd and 4. I'm commentating 2 games at the same time. 3rd and 4 for the Chiefs. 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. Mariota throwing a short pass to a short guy. One of the short guys. So the Eagles are finally putting together a good drive. And like I said, it's kind of annoying because you're like, why? Like, we really had the chance to say, like, okay, now we can just enjoy blowing the Eagles out the second half. And all of a sudden, like, they stand up. And just turns into a boring game. Oh, that was so close to getting intercepted by Bobby Okereke. Yeah, Wink is probably gone because like all of the stuff about, Wink and Dable don't like each other is consistent. Like they said there's no truth to it. The players said there's no truth to it. But I mean, there has to be some sort of consistency. I mean, there has to be some sort of truth to that. Like as a team that doesn't get to blow teams out often in like the last like decade, it stinks that one of our blowouts, and especially against the Eagles, happens in a game like this. Yeah, Bobby Okereke should have been in the playoffs. I mean, in the Pro Bowl. Third and 9 coming up here for Philly. Chargers are in commercial break. Boston Scott in motion. You know they're going for Boston Scott. Are you kidding me? He caught that. Just, like I know he was out of bounds, but the fact that that dude caught that was kind of crazy. Like the DB was draped all over him. Meanwhile, like Justin Fields is the star of the show and everything, but Justin Fields has 9 points on the board. So like, are we sure the Bears won't take a quarterback? We're not 100% sure because it's not like they don't already have a number one receiver. They have DJ Moore. He's got 64 yards today, so it's not like, oh, if you get Marvin Harrison Jr., all of a sudden you're going to have a number one receiver finally. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I would rather that too. I just have like more faith in the Commanders, like getting a guy like Drake May and it not working out than a guy like Caleb Williams. But the Commanders have shown that they can pretty much ruin anybody. Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. is like a generational type of prospect, 100%. Like he's not. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be the number one wide receiver there because Marvin Harrison Jr. is like it's just beautiful to watch this dude play football. First off, but again, he does have a wide receiver one, so it's not to say that like he's never had weapons and now he's going to have a weapon. If the Commanders are smart, they will drive a tackle, draft a tackle, and running back with How. Yeah, running back with How. Yeah, Joe Alt is generational, man. Take Joe Alt, run it back with Sam Howell. You got Terry McLaurin. Go ahead and take your receiver in the second round and do your thing. Take Brian Thomas in the second round. You got two speedsters. You got Joe Alt. Because who's gonna block for Caleb Williams? Who's gonna block? Who's gonna play left tackle for him? Yeah, Brock Bowers is a beast. That dude is definitely a beast. You see them? You really see them passing on a quarterback? That would be malpractice, man. Like Sam Howell, I think can make some stuff happen, but I just think like they got to get a guy that's better. But I also think Sam Howell has like he can be a starter in this league, in my opinion. He just kind of tapered off. And why is Tyrod Taylor back in the game again? Like they keep throwing the guy back out there every couple of plays. Like he keeps getting hurt, and they keep throwing him back out there. All right, 2nd and 3. Sterling Shepard still in the game. He's getting a ton of snaps here in this second half. Saquon Barkley needs, I don't know how many yards to get to 1,000. Let's see if I can find that number. I don't think he needs something like 100 yards to get to 1,000. Um, at 916, so he needs what, 84 yards to get to 1,000. I'm pretty sure. So Saquon is at end of the third quarter. So Saquon is at 45. So he needs about 41 more yards to get to 1,000 yards. They say hundreds of Eagles fans were leaving MetLife Stadium. You love to see that. Love to see that. Mr. Glass is back to solidify the victory. Trying to find Darius Slayton because I'm pretty sure he's already at his career highs. But I just want to see the numbers again. It was a tweet that was out. Can't find the tweet, but I know he's at his career high for catches now and for yards. All right, Aiden Stick, let's see what you got. Inaccurate throw. The Chargers will punt. Still 10-9 for the Chiefs and Chargers. All right. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure at this point Darius Slayton has career highs, but I'm gonna look up his career stats so we can see what he's working with as far as his body of work this season. So he is at 708 before this game. So right now he's at about 770 yards. 770 yards. So that's a career high. And he is at 50 catches. So that ties a career high. So he's got one more catch to get the most catches he's ever gotten in a season as a Giant. And he's already at his career high for receiving yards. Tyrod's got another shot, and Darren Waller isn't able to come down with it. Second and 10 coming up. Tyrod Taylor in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Instantly hits Darren Waller for about 7.5 yards. They might bring it back, yeah, because he kind of got pushed back and they spotted it backwards. Notable free agents: Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, A'Shawn Robinson, Isaiah Simmons, Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney. Adoree Jackson's gone. A'Shawn Robinson, I bring him back on a 1-year deal, but he's probably gone. Sterling Shepard is gone. Saquon Barkley's probably getting tagged. And McKinney, big decision. I think he's gone. Tyrod trying to make something happen. Tried to run for that first down. He's going to be about 2 yards short. Complaining to the referee, and you got another wide receiver. You got another cornerback, Eli Ricks, a former Tiger, former LSU Tiger, on the ground, and he's hurt. Hey, I'd love to bring Isaiah Simmons back. I think he's been a great piece. But if Wink isn't back, does it make sense to bring Isaiah Simmons back? I think Isaiah Simmons should just follow wherever Wink goes. Because if not, then there's no place to really use him. If they use Isaiah Simmons as a traditional linebacker, we don't need him here because he's not going to do that. Like we've already seen that he can't do that. Great special teams tackle. Can't tell who, but great special teams tackle. Yeah, but I think Tate Banks can pretty much play in every system. Like he's a guy that can play man and zone. He's got the prototypical build, so I don't think that's really a bad thing. Like I think he can play in any system. And I would love to keep Wink Martindale, but it just seems like from the reports, if they're not completely just lies, that he's gone for some reason. Like they want to get rid of him. And if you look at the Giants' defensive stats, their stats aren't good. Now the turnovers have gone up tremendously, but the yards they're in the low 20s, so like 27 and higher. And yeah, they're not good. So they could use that as a measuring stick. But again, like if you're in a situation like this where you cannot sustain drives as an offense for an entire year, and you average now 14 points a game, but for the most of the season you were averaging 11 points a game or 10 points a game, it affects your defense. Make no mistake about it. They were playing with the worst offense in the league, getting absolutely no help. But I would say for the most part, this defense has kept us in a bunch of games. But decisions going to need to be made there. They said someone on Twitter, Monty on Twitter. Shout out to Monty. He's also got a YouTube channel. He's a Giant pod, and he said, "Enjoy explaining why you're firing all of your coordinators directly after killing the Eagles." That's a good question. That's a good question. Like, enjoy explaining that because it doesn't make any sense. Say Cardinals just scored. Yeah, again, like I said, I mean, it's much ado about nothing. Because I mean, we would move up to 4, but I mean, I'm not really worried about that at this point. I mean, 4 versus 6 isn't horrible. You know, you think you may be able to hope that a quarterback falls to you, but it is what it is. And the Cowboys are in the red zone again, so we weren't getting that 3rd overall pick. Mariota takes the snap. He hits Quez Watkins on the sideline. Titans eliminated the Jaguars from the playoffs. Bucks got into the playoffs with the NFC South. I mean, the Buccaneers are the most like non-intimidating team to me that's in the playoffs. Short throw to can't tell who that is, but Dallas Goedert's backup, and they pick up a first down. So at this point, I mean, we're just all running clock. They're just all wanting to get out of this game with no injuries. And I'm just so annoyed with the Chiefs. Like, why couldn't you like just play bad and just let the Chargers go out there and get a win, man? because Eden Stick is just playing so awfully. And it's just so funny how these backup quarterbacks can come up and look just so good. You see these guys in the preseason, and you see these guys come in spots, and they just look incredible. Like Eden Stick can probably throw the ball like 70 yards on a rope, but he just doesn't look good today. And the Giants are lining up off sides here on 1st and 10. Now he just backed up. Good job. And he just missed the sack and floated it, floated the throw. I don't know who that was that missed the sack on Marcus Mariota, but come on, man. You can't miss that. Like, come on now. I want to know who that was. I couldn't tell. Maybe that was Dane Belton. But you got to make that play. But it's like we went up so quick, 24-3. I mean, 24-0. And it's like, why couldn't we just continue doing that so we can celebrate just like seeing a bunch of highlight plays? But now we have not scored at all in the third quarter. It's been really slow, and it just makes you think like, is this just all just orchestrated? Is this all just scripted? Because it just has to be scripted. Because Jalen Hurts got benched. Jalen Hurts got benched at the end of the first half with a minute left. Right now, the Eagles could very well be at 14-24 at the beginning of the fourth quarter with Jalen Hurts in the game. That could very well be their reality right now. They could be mounting a comeback right now because they have held us scoreless for the entirety of the third quarter. So why are we in a position right now at 24-3 and the Eagles are like, it just doesn't make sense. And you got a guy wide open. Covey bounced off of him. I couldn't tell who that was, if it was Dane Belton or McKinney, who really came down and hit him, but he just bounced off of it. Like, this has got to be scripted. Like, this has got to be scripted. Because, like, you benched Jalen Hurts in the second quarter. I'll say it again. If they held us out this entire third quarter, then what makes you think that Jalen Hurts couldn't have brought his team back into the game? What makes you think that Jalen Hurts couldn't have brought this Eagles team to at least 14 points or 17 points by now? And look at that. Like, so what makes you think that Jalen Hurts could? Why couldn't Jalen Hurts get the ball to Quez Watkins in the end zone? As they'll be down 24-10 now. And there is no reason that you should allow a man to do that to you. Like, why is that dude just top shelving you like that? Like, why is he mossing you like that in the end zone? Dane Belton. He was making a substitution on the extra point. Eating stick, hitting this check down for a first down to his tight end. Again, 10-15 to play. Do you really believe that Jalen Hurts couldn't have brought his team back into this game after they held us third scoreless? I really hope Caleb Williams goes to the Bears over the Commanders. I just don't want to see that. There we go. First down, Chargers inside the 40. Like, there is no way that you can tell me that Jalen Hurts wouldn't have 14 points on the board right now. They wouldn't be in a position to be down 10 with an entire quarter almost left to go. Two possession game. They've held us scoreless this entire third quarter. The Giants haven't been able to do anything. But okay, sure. He just got benched because, yeah, sure. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. Man. Like, this is crazy. And imagine the Giants blow this lead to Marcus Mariota. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel good? Does that like make you feel bad that you blew a lead like that and you don't get the third overall pick or the fourth overall pick? Or maybe you do because the Cardinals look like they're winning. So I guess it would help us a little bit, but how does that even feel? That like we're going through things that we should just have never had to go through. Because what if Tyrod goes out there and fumbles the ball right now and the score is 17-24? Does Jalen Hurts come back in the game? Like, does Jalen Hurts come back in the game if they go out there and and fumble that football and they get to 17? Because listen, man, like seeding is still on the line. The 49ers are up by 7. Sterling Shepard picks up a first down, but like the 49ers are down by 1 point now. So it behooves the Eagles to have their starting quarterback out there. But because he doesn't have the all-star team out there with him, they just set him down. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys hold the tiebreakers over them. And they will be the NFC champions. But you can still get the second or third seed. Like, or have the second or third best record. We should have started the tank in the Jets game. Like, even though I think we did end up losing that game. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a couple games that we should have won. We should be at like 8 wins right now, to be honest with you. Tyrod's got to make a decision. You got Darren Waller wide open, picking up a first down. Aiden Stick is about he just got a guy hurt on third down. Tried to get a guy a ball on third down, and he got laid out. And they took his helmet off. They're going over to talk to him. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, but hopefully he's good. And that wasn't Darren Waller. That was Isaiah Hodgins. So Tyrod Taylor, 284, 20 for 27, a touchdown and interception. First down just across the 50. Throwing it short again. This is the Darren Waller who got spun around. They just like kind of attack tight ends, especially those tall tight ends in the weirdest ways in the open field. So it makes sense why these guys are always hurt because like they're getting hit in their hips, they're getting hit in their side, they're getting hit in all these places where it's just like unadvantageous to be getting hit. Said the tank was on autopilot when DJ was in. Yeah. Daniel Jones was going to go this whole season and have like 4 touchdowns. And people would say, like, oh, it's because he doesn't have this. Hand off to Saquon, he's going nowhere. He's not going to get to 1,000 yards this year, but, appreciate your service, man. Appreciate your service. Darren Waller coming back in. Here on 3rd and 4. All right, 3rd and 4 coming up. Tyrod in the shotgun. You got Darren Waller looking like classic Darren Waller, getting open in the short area, and he's laying down. It looks like he's okay, and he's jogging off the field. Like, there's nothing that these guys can do with Darren Waller when he's actually. I mean, who knows what's going on with this dude? Like, who knows what's going on with this dude and why, like, he isn't like a top 3 guy in tight end yards and receptions. I just don't get it. I get the injuries. I understand that. But as far as when he's been out there, he has not been like a consistent monster like he was in the preseason. Tyrod is keeping it. Tyrod up the field. Tyrod cutting back, and he tried to drop his shoulder. He got too much dip on his chip. He tried to he thought he was going to cut that back inside and try to score on that option. And we got my TV just froze. Meanwhile, the Chargers are going for it here on 4th and 8. Please get this. Eaton stick. What guy wide open? A guy wide open. A guy wide open for a first down. Let's go, Chargers. All right. Tyrod here inside the 30 at the 23 and a half. Hands off to Saquon Barkley. Hands off to Eric Gray. And Eric Gray just runs through about 4 people for about 12 yards. Eaton stick another check down to Austin Ekeler, who's making a guy miss inside the 20. The Chargers are on the move. This is what we need. Why didn't y'all get the ball to Austin Ekeler more? That's my question. I didn't even know Austin Ekeler was healthy. I just assumed he was hurt. Now you got a handoff. Guy cutting back, picking up a first down for the Chargers inside the 20. Hand off to Eric Gray again. Eric Gray's cutting back, and he's getting wrapped up. It looked like he would score there, but he just could not get away from that Eagles safety. I think that was Blankenship. That is McCollum. Eaton stick at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10, in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers right. You got a tight end to your left. They're running a speed option. Eaton stick, guy bounced off of him, and he's about a yard short of a first down. So you'll have a 2nd and 1 inside the 10. Sterling Shepard trying to make a move. Again, 2 games at once, folks. So try to follow along. You guys know the Giants players' names. And if I'm talking about Eaton stick, it's the Chargers. So they're at 2nd and 1 in the shotgun. The Chargers are in the red zone. Both teams in the red zone. Shep getting a round of applause, standing ovation, as the Chargers pick up his first down. So this will make this 1st and goal at the 5.5-yard line. Sterling Shepard in the slot. They're trying to get him the ball, and Shep is blocking, and we're going to throw the ball away. So 3rd and 2. The Giants will probably kick this field goal. And the Giants will kick a field goal. So there you go. 1st and goal for Eaton stick and the Chargers. This is pay dirt time. They got to get in. Eaton stick has forever to throw the ball, and he just takes off and runs with it. And he's going to fight, and he's going to be about an inch short. I mean, this dude held on to the ball forever. I'm like, just throw it away, man. Like, don't take the loss. But he took off and ran with it, and now he's about a yard short of a touchdown. As the Giants kick their field goal, and it goes up to 27-10. And that will ice the game. That'll ice the game for you. As Eaton stick throws something, and there's a flag on the field, and who knows what the flag means. Sterling Shepard couldn't get in the end zone, but everybody's giving him his props for catching the ball. It looks like there was holding on that Chargers. Eaton stick, first of all, almost threw a pick 6 as they picked up the flag, because the guy almost had a pick 6, but he kind of just got grabbed and they broke it up. So 3rd and goal for the Chargers. This is crucial. Like if they can score a touchdown right here, this pretty much wraps the game up. It wraps the game up if they can score a touchdown here. You got the weapons, Eaton. You got the weapons. It looks like somebody called a timeout, the Chargers. But yeah, you got the weapons. You got Austin Ekeler. Make something happen, man. Make something happen. We need, like I said, at this point, with 3 minutes left, the Eagles are not coming back. At this point, the Chargers game is more important for the Giants' fate in the offseason than it is than the Giants game is. You said great franchises know how to tank. I don't know, man. Like I don't know. The Jaguars have done a lot of tanking. The Jets have done a lot of tanking. Yeah, they couldn't get to number one, but as far as just being bad, I mean, there's been a ton of bad teams, and I can't say that it's worked for them. The Browns have done the most tanking of all time. Like they're the tankingest, tanky people ever. And yeah, they got a good roster right now, but I wouldn't say like I don't know. Anyway, you got 3rd and goal here for the Chargers. Eaton Stick is out there in the pistol. You got 3 wide receivers, your tight end. They give it to Austin Ekeler, their best player, and he's going to be losing a yard. And the Chargers will kick a field goal to probably go up 12-10 and make this very difficult for us watching. Now, I'm glad they gave the ball to Austin Ekeler, but they kind of swarmed down so quickly on Austin Ekeler that if Eaton Stick had kept it, and this isn't me criticizing like what he did because that was the play. If he had kept that ball, he would walk into the end zone untouched. Second and 10 for the Eagles. Marcus Mariota fumbles the ball, and it looks like Azeez Ojulari is going to get that recovery. I don't know who forced that fumble. Everybody is patting Sterling Shepard on the back trying to get him a touchdown. Yep. Yeah, I've been following it, Sean. I've been giving the updates. The Chargers went ahead and kicked that field goal from the 2-yard line. They were on the 1. Jihad Ward forced that fumble, and Azeez Ojulari recovered it. So the Chargers have got to try to hold on to this lead. They're only up by 2, and if they're not, if they're not able to hold on to it, they've got to be able to go down the field and kick a field goal of their own. Sterling Shepard gets the pitch and instantly gains about a half a yard and goes down. And it's like at this point, they know what you're going to do. You're trying to find a way to get Sterling Shepard into the end zone. Fun to see him out there, man. Fun to see him out there. Not to say that he's done anything specific as far as helping the Giants win a championship or anything like that, but he's been a guy that's stuck here through some tough times as Giants teams and some bad rosters. So if this is his last game, and Tyrod is trying to see if he can get it to Shep, and he was getting covered right there. San Francisco clinched the top seed. They clinched the first round bye. Dallas with the win today won't be able to supersede San Francisco. You got a handoff from the Chiefs, picking up about 2.5. They've got to kick a field goal to come back and win this. Tyrod's pass a little bit too high for Sterling Shepard. I mean, if they know you're just trying to force it to Shep at the end of the game, I mean, it's going to be real easy for them to plan for it. That's why you shouldn't run a Make-A-Wish offense. Because I feel like if you opened it up and was throwing it to everybody, they would lean off of Shep and you'd be able to get him a touchdown. But you're not going to be able to do it just throwing it to him every play. Khalil Mack making a play on 2nd and 7 for the Chargers, so this will make this 3rd and 7. Mason Crosby misses the field goal, only one away from making the most field goals for active kickers. That stinks for him. Maybe he'll get a chance next year, but I'm pretty sure Graham Gano will be back next year. 3rd and 7 for Blaine Gabbert and the Chiefs. There's pressure. He's taking off. Is he going to pick up a first down? He's still running, and this is probably not going to be good. Probably not going to be good for our chances as the Chiefs pretty much run right up the middle of the field for about 20-something yards. They're about 15 yards away from field goal range, which would ice the game if they can kick this game-winning field goal. Crazy stuff, man. All right, Blaine Gabbert, turn around and hand the ball off again. He is going to lose a half a yard. There is 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this Chiefs and Chargers game. The Chargers are up 12-10. The Chiefs are driving. Try to run this clock down and kick the game-winning field goal, which would be bad for us because it would secure the Chargers as having the 5th pick instead of us. Now the Chiefs are coming out in shotgun, 3 wide, and a tight end. Blaine Gabbert has got a little time, and he's going to try to escape again, and he will escape, and he is in field goal range. Worst possible scenario. The Chargers have been able to get good pass rush, and they've been able to cover, but they have not been able to stop Blaine Gabbert from escaping the pocket and picking up first downs. They have not been able to stop Blaine Gabbert from running around back there and picking up first downs, and now they are well within field goal range. So we got to hope for a miss, or we got to hope for the Chargers defense to really step up and not us, but the Chargers get the ball and go down the field and kick their game-winning field goal. So, yeah, man, like we went from possibly being able to, at the beginning of this day, saying like maybe we could get that 2nd overall pick to the Patriots lose and the Commanders are going to lose. So maybe we can get the 4th overall pick. And now we're in a situation where we're going to be probably picking 6 because the Chargers pretty much have collapsed when they had a chance to put this game away. Let's see what's going on with the Cardinals game if they pulled it out. Yeah, the Cardinals are winning 20-13 right now. The Seahawks have the ball with 2 minutes left. So who knows what will happen with that. But I would love for the Chargers to win this game. I would love for them to win this game. Saints have been eliminated from playoff contention. Yep. All right. Marcus Mariota throwing it underneath. Is that Dallas Goedert or is that the other guy? You say go enjoy my Pelicans. I'm not a Pelicans fan. I'm a LSU fan, but yeah. But yeah. This is nail biter stuff right here with the Chargers and Chiefs. We got to hope that they miss a field goal as Marcus Mariota picks up this first down. And this is the only time this season that I've watched like 3 games at once this entire time. Started off with the Cardinals game, the Giants game, and the Chargers game, and now it's just the Giants and the Chargers. Because the Cardinals doesn't really matter because the Giants came out there and opened up a can of you know what against the Eagles as Azeez Ojulari gets his garbage time sack. And you got 3, 2, 1. The Giants season is officially over, folks. The nightmare is over. The nightmare is over. The nightmare is over. You don't have to deal with it anymore. So as I always say, I'm going to record my post game while I'm on stream. But something different is I'm going to also be reacting to this Chiefs and Chargers end of their game. So they're 2nd and 4 inside the 30-yard line. When they're getting ready to line up to kick their field goal, hopefully they can lose yards right here. Nice play by somebody here. Maybe Kendricks. Looks like a Kendricks. Looks like a Kendricks to stop them from picking up any yards. But you got a 3rd and 4 coming up, and I think I'll go ahead and start recording as I wrap up this post game, as always on stream. What's going on, YouTube? Diggy546. We almost had it. We almost had it. If we had been able to get the Patriots to win today, and it looks like the Cardinals are going to win, we could have been at number 3. But that didn't happen. Washington didn't stand a chance. After they got to 10, the Cowboys just kind of ran away with it. But for the most part, it is some kind of game. The Giants came out here against the Philadelphia Eagles and put it on them. As I'm watching the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers game, here on 3rd down, they are running the ball, and they're going to pick up this 1st down or be a half a yard short as they're going to line up and kick this field goal, most likely, to try to win this game. And if the Chargers lose this game, then that means the Chargers have taken the 5th overall pick away from the Giants, and they've moved from 5 to 6. So not that huge of a change. It's not like the Chargers will take, a quarterback from us. But for those who want a quarterback, for those who don't want a quarterback, the Chargers definitely would be in position to take any one of those other positions that you would have wanted to take in that top 10, including a guy like Malik Nabers. So that does matter. It does matter. I'm just going to say it. It does matter. So Harrison Butker, with the Giants pick in his hands, lining up to kick a gimme field goal with the score being 12-10 right now, is lining up. But in the meantime, like I said, the Giants kind of really put it on the Eagles to start this game. They just really blew them out to start. Tyrod Taylor was flawless almost. The only reason that there was a turnover in this game on the Giants' part is that they were trying to force the ball to Sterling Shepard to try to get him in the end zone. Didn't work out. But shout out to Sterling Shepard for being a Giant, being here through these bad games, bad seasons, bad teams. And Harrison Butker lining up to kick, and it is right down the middle. So you got the Chargers. They're going to have 49 seconds to go down the field and get in the field goal range. Maybe I'll still be talking as they will go down the field and try to score. But the fact of the matter is today, Tyrod Taylor really just put on a clinic. Those receivers were open all day. Mike Kafka put on a clinic. Wink Martindale came out there and dominated Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Hopefully A.J. Brown is going to be okay. The guy came out, had his knee twisted up. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay because he's one of the premier receivers in the league. Going into the playoffs, you just never want to see a guy get hurt in the last game of the season. I mean, we all saw the game today. We all saw the game. The Giants just kind of just put it on them and just went on autopilot the second half. So they took their foot off the gas, which, I mean, why do that? Why not try to go up 50-something to nothing? But they took their foot off the gas. It's really what happened. Saquon Barkley about 40 yards short of 1,000 yards, but 2 touchdowns. So maybe this is his last game as a Giant. but two more touchdowns. So that's pretty good for him. 2.6 yards a carry, not that good, but two touchdowns a day. Receiving wise, Wan'Dale Robinson continues to prove that when he gets targets, he's open. He's open, and I think he's going to get a quarterback pretty soon, hopefully. And they're going to get him the ball, and he's going to be one of the premier short area yak guys, short area, mid area, and even he can even get down the field too, but mostly short and mid area receivers in the league. Jalen Hyatt didn't do much today. I was hoping he would get in the end zone, but he goes scoreless as a rookie. As far as getting touchdowns as a rookie, should have had a couple. As Eaton Stick for the Chargers takes a sack on first down, you cannot do that. You got to throw the ball away. Looks like the Chargers are going to be picking fifth because Eaton Stick is playing horribly. Darius Slayton, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 62 yards, career highs and catches and yards for Darius Slayton. And a really good play from, I think that's Mike Davis, something Davis, for the Chargers to get out of bounds. But the receivers showed up for the most part. The defense showed up. The coverage was great for the most part, but they were playing against the Eagles backups. I'm just thinking, like, this just seems really kind of fishy because the Eagles very well could have closed that gap in this third quarter, but they benched their starting quarterback. So they very well could have closed that gap. Like, they very well could have, but they didn't. We ended up still winning, but something is always fishy when it comes to the Eagles. But props to the Giants for finally winning a football game against this team since 2020. Again, it's against mostly backups, so we still haven't beaten this team at full strength. But I would say a couple of weeks ago, we went down to the wire with them. I know this won't happen next year. We probably won't score 24 or 27 points in the first half of both games combined next year because that's just how it always goes. Anytime we're going into these division games expecting to compete with quality division opponents, it's always a disappointment. We always get blown off the field. Nothing much really stood out besides what I've kind of covered. You still got the Chargers and Chiefs game going on. Hopefully they can get in the field goal range. But let me just give some shout outs to some guys who may not be here next year. Like I said, Shep is pretty much done. He got to touch the ball a couple times today. So props to you again for everything you've done as a Giant. Not like we got to win any Super Bowls or anything, but props to you for being a long tenured Giant. You've been here since the Jerry Reese days. You've dealt with some crazy stuff. Props to Saquon Barkley, who may not be back, may be back, may not be. 2 touchdowns today. You're still a dog. You're still that guy. You're not – Saquon isn't that guy that he was as a rookie, but he's still a top 2-3 running back in this game, in my opinion. He had some runs today where he should have been tackled for a loss, and he ended up getting first downs. Let's see. We got Xavier McKinney. He may be gone. And he had 2 spectacular plays today and another play deflecting the ball. If I can pull up pass deflections, McKinney had 3. So 2 interceptions today, 3 pass deflections. Really good game by him. Another guy who may be gone, Isaiah Simmons, only 2 tackles today, but was really fun to watch this year. If Wink is gone, I think he's gone because there's a specific role he has to play, but shout out to Isaiah Simmons. And other than that, the rest of the guys are probably going to be back. Props to everybody that's been in my streams, that's watched these post-game videos. Props to all of you for sticking with me through this season. It's been a really rough season. And I'm glad it's done. It's Eaton Stick is throwing a dot, and they don't catch it. And the game's over. And the Giants will be picking 6th this year in the draft. The Chargers had plenty of chances to win this game. And it's all over now. So the Giants will be picking 6th. Plenty of film sessions on these prospects coming soon. You guys stay tuned for them. And, stick with me. I'm going to be uploading this off season. But just more disappointment as a Giants fan. I'm sure we all wanted to move up a couple slots, but we ended up moving down one. If we want a quarterback, we'll trade for one, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath for these guys to trade up for one. All right, so as I just said on stream, the Chargers could not score from the 1 yard line to solidify their win. And why am I not surprised? Giants are going to be picking sixth. It is what it is. It is what it is. We wanted to be moving up to 3 or 2 today. We moved down to 6. But again, if the Giants really want a quarterback, they'll get one. If they don't pick one, guess what? Somebody will be picking one next year, and it won't be Joe Schoen. So it is what it is. Arizona couldn't win. It looks like they gave something up at the end of their game too. Let's see. So it's not like we would have moved up to 4 either. Okay, so that makes me feel good. We only lost one spot. 5 to 6 is a lot less bad than 4 to 6. But you guys know what it is. You guys know what it is. Hopefully we get a guy like Penix. Hopefully we get a guy like Jayden Daniels. But I'm going to wrap this up and go get something to eat, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your football Sunday. Appreciate y'all again for everybody that's been in this stream. I've had most of the same people in the stream the whole year. It's been a slow year for me streaming-wise. But shout out to Sean Johnson. Shout out to Atlantic Lion. Shout out to Talking Echo, who's been supportive in the stream, in the chat. Joe Smo. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the chat because it's been the same folks here. I already said Atlantic Lion. Talking Echo. I don't see him in here, but Max. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody, again, that's been here on a consistent basis. Unlimited Liquid. All of those folks that's been here all year. I would not be on here if you all weren't able to watch this with me. At some of these games I might turn off if you all weren't able to watch it with me. So fun season, even though it wasn't a fun season. But again, you will see some draft content very shortly. The first video will be Jayden Daniels. I will be doing some streams this offseason, but obviously not on a weekly basis. Maybe as we get closer to the draft season, we'll start to see some weekly streams again. But we'll see. We'll see. But again, appreciate y'all for sticking with me all season. And go Giants. Let's see what we can do with the 6th overall pick. That's our pick. We got to stand on it. We got to enjoy it. We got to appreciate it. So hopefully we do something crazy good with that 6th overall pick.